Okay, can you guys hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just write I can hear you. If you can hear me, just write I can hear you. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mike asked us to give him few minutes. He will soon be joining us. I think he's trying to arrange himself. So just few minutes. You guys can be discussing what you learned. Once he joins, you are going to see him. Okay. Okay, I think Mr. Mike is here. Mr. Mike, please, your background is noisy.
Yeah, yes, I'm not sure yet. I was held by the rain.
You're held on the road. Okay.
By the rain, yes, I'm held by the rain.
Okay.
Hmm. I can't see the people that are online.
No, you can see them typing. They are typing. On YouTube, they only type. They
You
don't
said?
respond with voices. They only type on YouTube.
Okay, okay. No. So just give me a little, just give me a moment, make the rain reduce more. But if you can hear me, I can still start, but I don't know if the noise in the background is disturbing. Can you guys hear me? Is the background noisy? Please, if the background is noisy, can you indicate? Yeah, I got stuck in the rain. So, but if you can manage like this, can you indicate so that I won't waste your time, then we can start? Yes, the reason why you can't see me is because of I'm not at home. I got stuck in the rain. I said that already. So if you can hear me, we can do it like this. If you can hear me clearly, then we can continue like this for now till the rain subsides. What about now? Can you hear me clearly now? Is it clear enough like this? I know my screen is dark, but is it clear enough? Can you hear me? All right. So, where did I stop last week? Where did I stop last week? Can someone remind me where I stopped last week?
It's a it's a technical issue. It's a technical issue. I can't do anything about it for now. So you guys should just give me time. Just give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, then I'll give it back. Okay, all right. So we'll continue with Google apparatus, but give me a moment, please. Let me get to somewhere that is quiet. I got stuck in the rain. I'm repeating it again for some people that will still ask. If you log out, how would you know that I've started? So 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more.
Okay, please let's give him few minutes. He said he's under the rain, so he's trying to find somewhere safe, an enclosure. Okay, so he will be joining back in few minutes. Okay.
No more. Eh? Mmiri, anọ m n'ezi mmiri buru. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me properly? Can you guys hear me? Okay. The video will come up soon. So we stopped our Google apparatus, but before we begin, let's quickly have a quick recap of what we did last week. Let's have a quick recap of what we did last week. So we started with cells last week, and I told you about cells. We're going to do history, cell history. We're going to do cell structure and function. Then we're going to do cell and its environment. Then we're going to do movement of material in and out of the cell. Then we're going to see how we classify cells, then types of cells under each classification. Is that okay? All right, let me get the light on. So, who can tell me who the father of cells is? Who the father of cells? Who the Westerners considered as the father of cells? Who can tell me? I'm seeing everybody's chat. So, who's the father of cells? Who can tell me? Nobody's talking. Or you're going through your notes. Do you need to go through your notes to find out who the father of cells is? Robert Hooke, correct. Robert Hooke, correct. Yes. No, as I'm teaching, I'm trying to get out of my wet clothes. So good. Now, what kind of microscope did Robert Hooke use? What kind of microscope did he use? Robert Hooke, what type of microscope? Yes, I know you're correct. You're correct, Robert Hooke. But what type of microscope did Robert Hooke use? What type of microscope? What type of microscope did Robert Hooke use? That's what I'm asking. A rigid, it's not rigid. Gina, it's not rigid. It is rugged, not rigid. Rugged. When you use rigid, primitive, yes, correct. Compound, not really it's not compound. It's not compound microscope. Brian is not compound. Yes, it's a monocular lens. Okay, good. So, who are the two scientists that continued the work of Robert Hooke? Who are the two scientists that continued the work of Robert Hooke? Yeah, primitive microscope, you are correct. Monocular lens, you are correct. Rugged microscope, you are correct. So, who continued the work of Robert Hooke? The scientists that continued the work of Robert Hooke. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? The scientists that continued the work of Robert Hooke. What are their names? Yeah. Matthias Cledin and Theodor Schwann, correct. Matthias Cledin and Theodor Schwann. All right, so Matthias Cledin and Theodor Schwann were the first to postulate the cell theory, which states that the cell is a structural and functional unit of life. Yes. So for the WAEC students, when you're defining the cell in your exam, this is how you define the cell, that the cell is the structural and functional unit of life capable of what? Independent existence. Capable of what? Independent existence, okay? Now we saw the cell structure and function. First of all, we saw the cell as a fluid known as what? Protoplasm. We saw the cell as a fluid known as what? The protoplasm. Now, within this protoplasm, we have two distinct parts. We have the cytoplasm and we have what? The nucleus. We have what? The cytoplasm and we have what? The nucleus. Matthias Kleiding and Chodoshoan found out that within the cytoplasm and the nucleus, there are tiny structures which they termed as what? Organelles. These structures is what enables the cell to function as a living thing. And don't forget, living things must have what? These 7 characteristics: movement, respiration, nutrition, irritability, growth, excretion, and what? Reproduction. All right, give me a moment. Okay, so like I said, the organelles is what enables the cell to function as a living thing. These organelles. We have organelles that are present in the cytoplasm. We have organelles that are present in the nucleus. The organelles that are present in the cytoplasm is termed cytoplasmic organelles, while the organelles that are present in the nucleus are called what? Nuclear organelles. Now, please note this: the nucleus itself is an organelle. The nucleus itself is an organelle, but we'll get to that. All right. So let me look at cell. Darasimi, you have this note from last week. Do I need to repeat myself again? Yes, I didn't say that cells are living fluids. I didn't say they are living fluids. I said that cells are made up of a fluid known as what? The protoplasm, not living fluid. The cell is made up of a fluid known as what? The protoplasm. All right. Now, let's look at various organelles and their function. We started with 7 organelles from last week. We started with what? 7 organelles from what? Last week. All right. So the first organelle we saw was what? The cell wall, right? The cell membrane. And I said that the cell membrane is present. Now, this is a recap. This is not the main class. We are recapping what we did last week. That the cell membrane is found only, the cell membrane is found only in an animal cell. And what is the function of the cell membrane? The cell membrane is responsible for the regulation of materials in and out of the cell. Now, the cell membrane is responsible for the regulation of material in and out of the cell. And don't forget that the cell membrane is present only in animal cells. The cell membrane is present only in what? Animal cells. Don't forget. All right. Now, the next thing we saw is cell wall. And we say that the cell wall is present. The cell wall is present in both plant and fungi cell. The cell wall is present in both plant and fungi cell. Yes, Annabelle, you are correct. Yes, the cell membrane is also the site for what? The formation of pseudopodia. It's also the site for the formation of pseudopodia. What is a pseudopodia? The pseudopodia, from what I said last week, is a projection of the cell membrane, which helps the cell to in what movement and what feeding, which helps the cell in movement and feeding. That is all I taught you guys about the cell membrane from last week. Now for the cell wall is present in both plant and what fungi cell. For plant cell, the cell wall is made up of what? Cellulose. While for fungi cell, the cell wall is made up of what? Chitin. Yes. For plant cell, the cell wall is made up of what? Cellulose. While for fungi cell, the cell wall is made up of what? Chitin. Don't forget, for the chemistry student, both chitin and cellulose are polysaccharides. What are polysaccharides? Polysaccharides is just the scientific name for what? Complex sugar, or the chemistry name for what? Complex sugar, polysaccharide. Both cellulose and chitin are polysaccharides, complex sugars. Cellulose is for plant cell, while chitin is for what? Fungi. Yes. And also the cell wall is responsible for what? Giving the plant cell a definite shape. The cell wall is responsible for giving the plant cell a definite shape, and also is responsible for what? Turgidity. What is turgidity? Turgidity is the ability of the plant cell to hold in water, and not what? Burst. Ability of the cell to what? Hold in water and not what? Burst. All right. Then I said something last week that each individual plant cell can interact with other plant cell. Each individual plant cell can interact with other plant cell by the presence of a structure known as what? Plasmodesmata. By the presence of a structure known as what? Plasmodesmata. All right. Now the next organelle we saw is what? The ribosome. Ribosome, not Rabina. Ribosome. What is ribosome? Ribosomes are structures present in all cell. You will see ribosomes in what? Plant cell. You will see ribosome in animal cell. You will see ribosome in fungal cell. Now, what is the function of this ribosome? Ribosome is for what? Protein synthesis. Ribosome is for what? Protein synthesis. What is protein synthesis? Protein synthesis simply means using amino acid to make what? Proteins. We have different proteins in different parts of the body. So each cell synthesizes specific protein for the specific part of the body where that protein is needed. Now this protein is assembled using what? Amino acids. Where this occurs is what? The ribosome. So the ribosome is responsible for protein synthesis. The ribosome is responsible for what? Protein synthesis. Now the next structure we saw is what? The endoplasmic reticulum. The next structure we saw is what? The endoplasmic what? Reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is just the structure that is responsible for transportation. Is the structure that is responsible for transportation in what? Cells. You see the endoplasmic reticulum in all cell types, both animal, plant, and what? Fungi cells. Endoplasmic reticulum. We have two types of what? Endoplasmic reticulum. We have two types of what? Endoplasmic reticulum. We have the rough and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The rough and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is termed rough due to the presence of ribosomes on it. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is termed rough due to the presence of ribosomes on it. And like I said, the endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for what? Transportation. So the rough endoplasmic reticulum that has ribosomes on it is responsible for what? The transportation of proteins. Is responsible for the transportation of what? Proteins. I got beaten by the rain. Now, The next is what? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is termed smooth due to the absence of ribosomes on it. So the smooth endoplasmic reticulum don't have ribosomes on it. That's why it's called smooth. So it's smooth. What's the function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the production and transportation of what? Lipids and steroids. For the production and transportation of what? Lipids and steroids. Now, that is the function of what? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now, don't forget, like I said, the endoplasmic reticulum are the structures in the cells responsible for what? Transportation. One is rough, the other one is smooth. The rough one transports synthesized proteins due to the presence of ribosomes on it, while the smooth ones produces and transports lipids and steroids. And we talked about steroids last time for the person that wanted me to go deep. All right. Now, the next group of organelles we are going to see are what is termed as what? Membrane-bound organelles. The next group of organelles we are going to see are what we term as what? Membrane-bound organelles. Now, let's not make a big deal about it. Membrane-bound organelles are organelles. Membrane-bound organelles are organelles that have what? Two layers. These organelles have what? Two layers. And that is when we get to classification of cells, we are going to see how cells are classified due to the presence and absence of membrane-bound organelles. Now, before we proceed, I want you to understand the difference between classes and what? Types. Please note to distinguish between what? Classes and what? Types. When they say classes and when they say types, these are two different questions. Let me give you an example. If I am going to classify you guys, I will have to what? Bring up a subject or a standard of classification. What do I mean? I want to classify you guys based on what? Height. Can you see? So height is the subject of classification. Height is the subject of classification. So if I'm classifying you guys based on height, then we're going to have what? Three classes. We're going to have the tall class, we're going to have the short class, and we're going to have the average class, which is the median class. Can you see? So if I'm using you guys as an example, let me change the subject of classification. Let me change the subject of classification based on what? Skin color. So the subject of classification now becomes what? Skin color. So if I'm going to classify you people under your skin color, we're going to have different type of class. We're going to have black, blacker, blackest. We're going to have yellow, yellower, yellowest. Can you see? These are just what? Subjects of what? Classification. So when you are classifying an organism, you are classifying the organism based on what? Presence or absence of certain structures. Are you with me? All right. So when we get to classification of cells, we are going to see that the cell is actually classified based on presence and absence of membrane-bound organelles. With that being said, let us continue. So the next group of cells we are going to see are called what? The next group of organelles we are going to see are called membrane-bound organelles. Membrane-bound organelles simply means organelles with what? Double layer. So the first organelle we are going to see, or we saw last week, is the mitochondria. The mitochondria is a membrane-bound organelle that is responsible for internal respiration. that is responsible for what? Internal respiration. That is responsible for internal respiration. Now, what is respiration? Respiration simply means energy production. So, other textbooks may use mitochondria, may define mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell. Why? Because energy is usually produced in the power or generated in the powerhouse. All right. So the mitochondria has two layers. The inner layer of the mitochondria is made up of finger-like structures known as cristae. The inner layer of the mitochondria is made up of what? Finger-like structure known as what? Cristae. Jam question. Jam question. Where does Krebs cycle take place? Please put down this question somewhere in your test, in your exercise books or jotting, your jotting pad, notepad. Where does Krebs cycle take place? Where does Krebs cycle take place? Okay. Now, when we get to respiration, you're going to see that we have two types of respiration, right? Now, we're talking about the mitochondria as the organelle for respiration. Now, the question, a tricky question from this topic goes thus: where does Krebs cycle take place? Okay. Krebs cycle takes place in the mitochondria of the cell. Krebs cycle takes place in the mitochondria of the cell because of what? Krebs cycle is part of what? The respiratory process. Krebs cycle is part of what? The respiration process. Now, another tricky question that may come from mitochondria in your exams is, where does glycolysis take place? Glycolysis is also a stage in respiration, but glycolysis does not take place in the mitochondria. Yes. Let me let me repeat myself again. Let me repeat myself again. Let me repeat myself again from mitochondria. Okay. Mitochondria, like I said, we're going to look at membrane-bound organelles, right? Membrane-bound organelles are organelles that have what? Two layers. The first organelle we're going to see is what? The mitochondria. The mitochondria is the organelle that is responsible for what? Respiration. And don't forget, respiration is what? Energy production. So your textbook might use respiration or energy production. And in some cases, they are going to use what? Powerhouse of the cell. All this still defines the mitochondria. The mitochondria is where energy is produced. Everything occurring within the cell needs energy. Just imagine if you have not eaten for 3 days. If you have not eaten for 3 days, you cannot understand this class. If you have not eaten your 3 days, you cannot walk normal. You will be crawling. You will feel dizzy. Because of what? Your body requires food. Why does your body require food? Because energy is gotten from food. Now, the process of getting this energy from the food is called respiration. And the organelle that is responsible for doing that is what? The mitochondria. The organelle responsible for doing that is what? The mitochondria. So the mitochondria is responsible for converting what? Food into what? Energy. The mitochondria is responsible for converting food into energy. And this process is called what? Respiration. I think this should be clear enough. Are you with me? So the mitochondria is responsible for what? Respiration. What is respiration? Energy production from food. energy production from food is respiration. All right, good. The next organelle we saw last week is the lysosome. The lysosome is also a membrane-bound organelle. The lysosome is also a membrane-bound organelle. Okay. Another name for the lysosome is known as what? Suicide bags. Another name for the lysosome is known as what? Suicide bags. What is suicide? Suicide is an English term that is used to define a process whereby a being takes its own life. That is suicide. It's an English term that defines somebody or something or a living thing that takes its own life. That is suicide. Now, lysosome is a membrane-bound organelle that is also known as what? Suicide bags. Now, lysosome is the organelle that is responsible. We are looking at the function of the lysosome now. Lysosome is responsible for cell immunity. Now, please don't forget, every cell type have mitochondria. Plant cell, animal cell, and fungi cell have mitochondria. Don't forget. All right, let's go back to lysosome. Like I said, lysosome is a membrane-bound organelle, also known as suicide bags, that the function is what? Cell immunity. What is immunity? What is immunity? When you have immunity, it means that something cannot harm you. When you have immunity, it means that you can't be harmed. So it means that there are things that can harm the cell. Now, lysosome prevents those things from harming the cell. What are those things that can harm the cell? Number one, virus can harm the cell. Number two, bacteria, which is also a cell on its own, can harm the cell. Are you with me? Then also within the cell, worn-out organelles can produce toxins that can harm the cell. Can you see? So the lysosome is responsible for taking care of these problems. When a bacteria or a virus enters the cell, the lysosome goes and attacks it. If an organelle is old and is unusable in the cell, what happens? The lysosome goes and what? Disintegrates that particular organelle. How does the lysosome do it? The lysosome contains digestive enzymes. The lysosome contains what? Digestive enzymes. What are you not clear on, Mr. Higowat, Engineering Service? What are you not clear about? You are not clear about the lysosome? I said the lysosome is responsible for cell immunity. What is immunity? Immunity is the ability to prevent what? Harm. So the lysosome prevents the cell from being harmed by various factors. Factors like what? Virus. Factors like what? Bacteria. And factors like worn-out organelles within the cell itself. So when these factors come into play, what happens? The lysosome takes care of it. How does the lysosome take care of it? The lysosome takes care of it by what? The production of what? Digestive enzymes. So what happens is that whenever a bacteria or a virus enters the cell, or whenever an organelle is old and worn out, the lysosome goes and swallows. The lysosome swallows the bacteria, the virus, or the organelle. When the lysosome swallows it, the lysosome releases the digestive enzymes on the bacteria, virus, or organelle. These digestive enzymes will now disintegrate or destroy the threat. Is that making sense? Now, now listen. When the lysosome has destroyed the threat, the lysosome itself will be destroyed in the process. Now, do you understand why the lysosome is known as suicide bags? Yes, because after the lysosome has eliminated the threat, the lysosome itself will what? Will be destroyed. Okay. It contains digestive enzymes, or you can call it lytic enzymes in general. You're a chemistry student, so lytic enzymes, lytic, Lytic, lytic enzymes. So lytic enzymes are enzymes that is responsible for what? Digestion. Lytic enzymes is responsible for what? Digestion. So the threat is being digested and the lysosome is eliminated in the process. Is that making sense? All right. Now, the next membrane-bound organelle we're going to see is the Golgi apparatus. I think that was where we stopped last week, right? Okay, good. So after that, then the class will start properly. This is just a recap. This is minutes of the meeting. All right. So Golgi apparatus or Golgi body, if you are referring to plant cells. Please don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, lysosome is absent in plant cells. Lysosome as a structure is absent in plant cell. Lysosome as a structure is absent in plant cell. So what you see in plant cell, a lysosomic structures within each organelles. Every organelle in the plant cell has its own lysosomic attachment. So there is no organelle as lysosome in the plant cell. You only find that in animal cell and fungi cells. All right. So the next cell we're going to look at, the next organelle we're going to look at, the next membrane-bound organelle we're going to look at is the Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. We call them Golgi bodies when you find them in plant cells. We call them Golgi bodies. But under animal cell, we call them Golgi apparatus. Now, what is the function of the Golgi apparatus? Don't forget, before you know the structure, know that the Golgi apparatus is a membrane-bound organelle. What do we mean by membrane-bound organelle? Membrane-bound organelles are organelles that have what? Two layers. Okay. So the Golgi apparatus is a membrane-bound organelle that is responsible for what? Packaging of protein and lipids. The Golgi apparatus is responsible for what? Packaging and transportation of protein and lipids. The Golgi apparatus is responsible for the packaging and transportation of what? Proteins and what? Lipids. The Golgi apparatus is responsible for the packaging and transportation of what? Proteins and lipids. Now, the transportation of the protein and lipid is not done within the cell. What happens is this. After the Golgi apparatus has packaged the proteins and lipids, the Golgi apparatus exports this package away from the cell. Exportation. Do you understand? It exports it out of the cell. Okay? Now, remember, the ribosome is responsible for what? Protein production. The ribosome is responsible for protein production. Don't forget. When the ribosome has produced this protein, the rough endoplasmic reticulum will now transport this protein to the Golgi apparatus, while the smooth endoplasmic reticulum will transport lipids to the Golgi apparatus. Now, within the Golgi apparatus, these proteins and lipids are packaged. They have to be packaged. They are put into what? Packages and transported away from the cell. The process of transporting this packaged product, the process of transporting this packaged product away from the cell by the Golgi apparatus is known as exocytosis. Is known as what? Exocytosis. Is known as exocytosis. Exo. EXOCYTOSIS. So when proteins and lipids, when packaged proteins and lipids are transported away from the cell, it is called exocytosis. And with that, we are done with the minutes of the meeting. Shall we begin the class properly? If you are ready for the class, indicate. I hope everything I said corresponds with what we did last week with your. So if you are ready, we can proceed. Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope the rain did not affect some of you also. All right. Now, okay. So the next organelle we're going to look at is the centrioles. 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 CEN. So right. CEN. Okay, do you know what? Let me spell it for you. Let me spell it for you. The centrals. Centrals, I'm typing it. All right, so that's the spelling of centrals. Have you seen it? Yes, centrals. Okay, so yeah, these centrals, listen. The centrals are present in all cell type. The centrals are present. Now we're starting with centrals. I should spell it again. Didn't you see me type it? I typed it now. I typed it. You didn't see me type. I typed it. Can't you see what I typed? Can't you see what I typed? Can you see what I'm typing?
Can you hear me, Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Yes, what you typed was in a private chat. I don't think it appeared on the general chat.
Okay, so I should join the general chat.
Yes, you should join the general chat. On the private chat, it's only me that can see it.
Okay, 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 okay. Mm. You guys should give me more. I want to join the chat so that you guys will see the spellings of everything. Continue. Okay. All this long process to join general chat. Okay. All right. Good. Good. Mm-hmm. Yes. Can you see me? Yeah. I've joined your chat. So I joined your chat as Get Fit. So you see, I joined the chat as Get Fit. So whatever spelling, I'll be typing it here. So all right. So the centrals. The centrals. Let's talk about the centrals. The centrals is an organelle that only plays its role. The centrose is an organelle that plays its role during cell division. The centrose are organelles that plays its role during cell division. Now, what is cell division? Cell division is an asexual form of reproduction. Listen, cell division is an asexual form of reproduction that is seen in unicellular organisms. Cell division are Cell division is an asexual form of reproduction seen in unicellular organisms or cells. Okay, asexual spelled thus. All right. Now, during cell division, listen. During cell division, the function of the centroles is to produce microtubules. 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 Yes. Is to produce what? Microtubules. Are you with me? Microtubules. Or another name for microtubules, we call them what? Spindles. Spindles. Microtubules or what? Spindles. These microtubules or spindles are like spider cobwebs. Are you with me? So Golgi apparatus again. What's your name? Higwot, why are you slow? You are slow. You are taking us back to Golgi apparatus. It's not Golgi. It's not Golgi. Get the notes. Check the video for the last class. You're dragging us back. Check the video for the last class or collect the notes. It's not Golgi. Yes, Annabelle is spindles. Yes, spindles. Yes. The centrals. The centrose is responsible for the production of what? Microtubules or what? Spindles. Another name for microtubules are called what? Spindles. Are you with me? Another name for the microtubules are called what? Spindles. Now, these microtubules produced by the centrose, these microtubules are used for the attachment. These microtubules are used for the attachment of what? Chromosomes during cell. Let me spell chromosomes. Okay, so these chromosomes attach themselves to the microtubules during cell division. Now, let me repeat myself again. For those that did not hear me properly, centroles, centroles, centroles is what? An organelle that plays its role only during cell division. Cell division is a form of what? Asexual reproduction seen with what? Cells. During cell division, the centroles produces what? Microtubules or spindles. These microtubules or spindles allows they allow for the attachment of chromosomes. They allow for the attachment of chromosomes. Without the microtubules, the chromosomes will not be attached. They will just be floating freely in the cell, cytoplasm of the cell, and there will be no cell division. So the centroles makes cell division possible by the production of microtubules. These microtubules is where the chromosomes are attached during cell division. When we get to growth, we are going to look at cell division in details. When we get to growth, we are going to look at cell division in what? Details. All right. So that is the centroles. Okay, can we move on? Can we proceed? All right. Good. The next organelle we are going to see is present only in plant cell. The next organelle we are going to see is present only in what? Plant cell. This is known as what? The large central vacuole. Let me spell it for you. Large central vacuole. Large central vacuole. Large central what? Vacuole. Spell, please, when you're during your exams in biology, spellings matter. I don't know why, but they mark the spellings. So if you don't get the spellings correctly, you're not going to get the answer. Like the person that said Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus, that is wrong. It is Golgi. Golgi. Some people will call it Golgi. Golgi. That's the name of the person that found the structure. Okay? All right. So the large central vacuole is found only in what? Plant cell. The large central vacuole is found only in what? Plant cell. Now, the large central vacuole is big, very, very big. Compared to the cytoplasm of the cell is big. The large central vacuole contains what is known as what? Cell sap. They contain what is known as what? Cell sap. Cell sap. Yes. How many of you knows what is? How many of you have? Okay. I don't know if I can send it. I will send for. I'm going to. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get a comprehensive diagram of the plant and animal cell. Then I'm going to send it to you people. The one that contains all the structures you need to know and all the structures I'm going to mention. When you are reading for biology or when you're studying for biology, be careful of certain textbooks. Some textbooks are not comprehensive enough, even comprehensive biology textbook. They are not comprehensive enough because some structures are missing. Some structures are missing. Then when you get to university, you start struggling with science courses because they refuse to mention one organelle in your SS1. Can you see that? And that organelle will come and play a role in your 100 level. Medical courses. Yes. All right. Now, cell sap is present in the large central vacuole. Cell sap is present in the large central vacuole. Cell sap. What is a cell sap? A cell sap is a complex mixture of salt. Is a complex mixture of salt. Who can tell me one property of salt? Who can tell me one property of salt? One property of salt. Anybody? One property of salt. Can anybody? One chemical property of salt. Anybody? We have physical properties, we have chemical properties. Can anybody give me one chemical property of salt? It's not a property. The blessing is not a property. We all know that salt is a compound, yes. We have different types of salt. We have common salt, we have double salt, we have complex salt, we have basic salt, we have acidic salt. Are you with me? So high chemical stability. Are you sure? At Brian, are you sure? Okay. So let me type the one. All salt. Hello, Angel. Angel, let me correct you. Angel, let me correct you. Shay, you are the one that was complaining. Angel, you are the one that was complaining about teachers not starting on time. But look at what you are not reading your book too very well. At Angel, you are saying that it's made up of what? An acid and a base. Is salt made up of? Is your table salt, sodium chloride, made up of an acid and a base? Is it made up of an acid and a base? Angel, you have sodium, you have chloride. What is sodium? Alkaline metal. What is chloride? Chloride is what? Chlorine is what? A halogen. So you have an earth metal, group 1 element, and what? Group 7 coming together to form salt. So at Angel, change your definition. Don't say it's made up of what? An acid and a base. You can restructure your statement by saying that a salt is a product that is gotten from a reaction between what? Acid and base. When you have acid and base reacting, neutralization reaction, you have salt and water being formed. All right. So, this is what I'm looking for. Salts are what? Hydrophilic. What does hydrophilia means? Hydrophilic. Salts are what? Hydrophilic. What does it mean for something to be hydrophilic? It means that that thing has high affinity for water. So wherever there is salt, water will run away. Salt loves water. Salt loves water. When you take salty food, you tend to drink a lot of water. When you take salty food, you tend to what? To drink a lot of water. So salt for water. Hydrophilia means what? Affinity for water. So salt has the ability to pull water. Salt has the ability to pull in water. Listen again. Salt has the ability to pull water. For those of you that play a lot at home during rainy season, there's this thing you do with earthworm. When you see earthworm, the bad person in you will tell you, kill it, kill it. Then you go and fetch salt from your mother's kitchen and you sprinkle the salt on the earthworm. just to see the earthworm dance. Now, after sprinkling salt on the earthworm, after a while, after dancing, the earthworm dies. Why? The earthworm requires water for survival. Earthworm requires water for gaseous exchange, that is survival. Without water, earthworm cannot breathe. So earthworm needs water for what? Survival. So when you put salt on the body of the earthworm, what happens is this: the salt will pull water away from the earthworm, and when the salt pulls water away from the earthworm cannot survive anymore. The earthworm cannot breathe anymore. Then the earthworm will do the dance of death. After dancing Ajasco, the earthworm will die. Because of what? Salt. Salt has the ability to pull water. So the salt you are sprinkling on the earthworm will pull out water from the earthworm, and the earthworm cannot have oxygen. Yes, the salt absorbs water. That is what I mean by pulling water, absorption. Are you with me? So cell sap that is contained in the large vacuole, large central vacuole. The large central vacuole contains cell sap. This cell sap is a complex mixture of salt. So don't forget, salt has the ability to pull water. So what is the function? What is the function of the large central vacuole? The large central vacuole regulates the movement of water in and out of the plant cell. So write, the large central vacuole regulates the movement of water in and out of the plant cell. Are you with me? Okay. All right. Now, let me ask this question. I said it from last week, but let me ask this question again. When the plant cell swells up with water, what is it called? When the plant cell swells with water, what do you call it? When the plant cell swells with water, what do you call it? Gina Okereke. You're wrong. Ariscotem. Ariscotem. You're a liar. Brian. Enyoma. You got it. Turgidity good. Turgidity good. Yeah. Now, who has heard about this structure known as stomata? Who has heard about stomata? Stomata. Who has heard about stomata? If you have heard about stomata, indicate. If you have not heard about stomata, let's continue. Let's proceed with the class. Yes. Okay, I've heard about stomata. Okay, good. When we get to gaseous exchange in plants, we are going to see the large central vacuole in action when we get to gaseous exchange in plants. Yeah. So that's the function of the large central vacuole. And don't forget, the large central vacuole is only present in what? Plant cell. And it contains what? Cell sap. It contains cell sap. Okay. All right. Now, next we're moving to the next organelle. This organelle is present only in plant cells too. This organelle is present only in plant cell. You can't find this organelle in animal cell. The organelle is known as what? Plastid. Plastid. Plastid, spelled so. Plastid. At Brian, I didn't say stoma. What I said was stomata, not stoma. You see why ChatGPT is bad for you? Can you see why ChatGPT will make your brain dull? We are talking about stomata and you're bringing about stoma. No, stomata, not stoma. You see, now what they are giving here is stoma instead of stomata. And for in WAEC syllabus, yes, I know he used ChatGPT, don't mind him. He used ChatGPT. That is why this is how easy it is to fail WAEC. Can you see that? This is how easy it is. Now it's giving you stoma, but for WAEC syllabus or WAEC curriculum, what is written there is stomata. But you now, you go and put stoma, and the examiner doesn't know what stoma is. You are failed now. You are failed. You write WAEC again. Do you understand? So be careful. Pay attention. Instead, Brian, you have made Hugo Watts to be advising you now. Can you imagine? Hugo Watts is the one advising you, Brian. Shame. Now, let's continue. The next organ that we're going to see is what? Plastid. Like I said, the plastid is present. Plastid is present only in animal cell, in plant cell. Plastid, listen, angel. Yes, but we are working based on what? WAEC curriculum, your curriculum, so that you will not get it twisted. Are you with me? I don't want you to get it twisted, okay? Stomata, yes, they are the same thing, but WAEC curriculum is stomata that is there. So if you write stoma under WAEC curriculum, let me tell you the truth, they will know you used AI, and they will carry your script and put one side first. Then if you wrote in a center that has camera, they will check your seat number, then they will check the camera and look if you cheated with your phone. Are you with me? Because already for you to write stoma, they know that stoma is not part of their curriculum. So it's indicating that you cheated by pressing ChatGPT. So they will just catch you. Can you see how easy it is to catch a thief? Even me now, I've catch you. Brian, Nami, everybody. Imagine, even Hugo Watts caught you self. Now, if Hugo Watts can catch you, what will the WAEC examiner do? So that's it. So be careful, ChatGPT, be careful. I don't know who Brian is, but I'll pray for you after the class. Now, plastid, right. Plastid are colored pigments. Plastid are colored pigments in plant cells. Plastids are colored pigments in plant cell. Plastids, Brian, no vex. Hey, yeah. Plastids are colored pigments in plant cell. Plastids are colored pigments. Plastids are colored pigments in plant cell. Pigments. Plastids are colored pigments in plant cell. Okay. Now, Um, most plants, listen, class, listen. Most plants are green in color, but haven't you seen some plants that are not green in color? If you know you have seen, Brian, it have do. You are rubbing in your shame yourself. Now, listen. If you know you have seen any plant that is not green in color, can you indicate? If you know you have seen any plant that is not green in color, can you indicate? Any plant that is not green in color, can you indicate? Hmm? If you know you have seen a plant that is not green in color, okay? Dojan, uh, do you know the name of the plant you saw? Do you know the name of you saw brown? Yeah, brown. Yes, brown. Yes. Sometimes there's this thing you call flower bed. Funny you should call it a flower bed. You'll see different leaves that have different colors, right? Yes. Call it flower tulips. Now someone is talking tulips. You see, red, red. Oh my God, Dodger, red leaf. Which one is red leaf again? The person that said tulips. I like that. Yes. Yellow. Yes. Good. We have purple. Yes. And then yes, yellow plants. Yes, I agree. It have do now, Rubik's. I've seen your yellow. Yes. Uh, now, listen. There are apart from the plant color itself. There, notice that some plants have flowers that have different color. Like we have red rose, we have white rose, we have purple rose. Are you with me? Yes. Then there are, if you look at the fruit bearing plants, we have different colors of fruit. For your mango, when mango is not ripe, the mango is green in color. When the mango is about to get ripe, the mango becomes yellow in color. When the mango is done ripen, the mango becomes red in color. Okay, good. Now, when you look at other flowers like your daisies, your daisy is what white in color. But when you look at your hibiscus is red in color. Then look at your zobo plant. Your zobo plant is what purple in color. Can you see? Then we have pink roses. Are you with me? Yes. We have yellow banana. Can you see? Yellow banana. So when banana is not ripe, the banana is green in color, right? When the banana becomes ripe, it becomes yellow. Then when the banana has gone beyond ripening, it's turned to what? Black. It turns to what? Black. Yes. So now, all these colors you are seeing in plants, all these colors you are seeing, be it the flower, be it the plant, be it the fruit, whatever color you see, even carrot that is orange in color, whatever color you see in a plant, it is responsible for that color. It is what? The plastid that is responsible for that color. Yes, plastid. So plastids are colored pigments present in what? Plant cell. Now, right, right. There are three types of plastids. There are three types of plastids. Now, can you see, as the class is going on, we are going from simple to complex. We are going from what? Simple to complex. Are you with me? So now we are going deep into what? The types of plastids. Majority of plants is green in color. Majority, 70% of plants or 80% of plants is green in color, right? Yes. So let us differentiate the different types of what? Plastids. There are three types of plastids. Now, the plastid themselves, three types of plastid. We have what? Your chloroplast. We have chloroplast. Chloroplast. Can you see chloroplast there? Yes, good. Your chloroplast is a plastid. The chloroplast is a plastid that contains the green pigment called chlorophyll. The chloroplast is the green colored plastid due to the presence of the green pigment called chlorophyll. Are you with me? Yes. Chloroplast is the first plastid you are going to see. Chloroplast is the first plastid you are going to see. Chloroplast. Now, I'm not going to go deep into chlorophyll because I guess this is beginner's class. But when I meet you in 100 level and 200 level, then we're going to go deep. All right, so yeah. The first, we have three types of plastid. We have the first one is your chloroplast. Chloroplast is the green colored plastid. Chloroplast is the green colored plastid. The green color is due to the presence of chlorophyll. The green color is due to what? The presence of what? Chlorophyll. Now, write function of chloroplast for photosynthesis. Function of chloroplast is what? Photosynthesis. This person called Rubik's. Why are you faster than your shadow? Why are you faster than your shadow? If I ask you 10 questions on chromoplast, I bet you can answer one. Allow me to get there first. The only reason why you are typing these things because of you have data. If you don't have data, you will not show yourself. Data is not for everybody. Now, listen. Let us go slowly. Plastids are colored pigments in plants. We have three types of plastids. The first one is the chloroplast. The chloroplast is the green colored what? Plastid. The chloroplast is the green colored plastid that contains the green pigment known as what? Chlorophyll. The function of the chloroplast is for what? Photosynthesis. So every green plant is photosynthetic. Every green plant is what? Photosynthetic. Are you with me? Yes. Number two, the second type of plastid is what? Your chromoplast. Chromoplast. The second type of plastid is what? Your chromoplast. Chromoplast, from the word chrome. Chrome means what? Color. So chromoplast is any plastid that does not contain chlorophyll but contains other colors. Let me repeat myself again. Chromoplast is the second type of plastid. Chromoplast is the second type of plastid that contains every other color except green. Chromoplast contains every other color except green. Chromoplast contains every other color except green. All right. So the chromoplast is responsible for the colors of every other plant part, like your fruit and flower. Are you with me? So your chromoplast is responsible for the colors of what? Fruits and what? Flowers. We have different type of chromoplast, and each chromoplast is named according to the color it contains. I repeat myself for the last time. The chromoplast is the second plastid. The chromoplast is the second plastid that contains every other color. The chromoplast contains every other color except color green. The chromoplast is responsible for the colors of every other plant parts, like what? Your flower, your roots, and what? Your fruits. Are you with me? Now, each chromoplast is named according to the color it contains. So like I told you guys in my first class, most biological terms or words is gotten from what? Greek and Latin. Most biological words is gotten from what? Greek and Latin. So what is the Greek word for blue? What is the Greek word for blue? The Greek word for blue is what? The Greek word for blue is cyan. The Greek word for blue is what? Cyan. Cyan. So when you have a chromoplast that is blue in color, what is the name of that chromoplast? When you see a chromoplast that is blue in color, what do you call it? We call it what? Your cyanoplast. Cyanoplast. Are you with me? Because the Greek word for blue is what? Cyan. Is that making sense? So we have what? Your cyanoplast. What is the Greek word for orange? What's the Greek word for orange? What is the Greek word for red? What is the Greek word for yellow? What is the Greek word for gold? That is how you name your chromoplast. Is that making sense? Good. Now, the third and last plastid we are going to look at is what? Your leucoplast. Your leucoplast. Your leucoplast. Your leucoplast among the three plastid. Leucoplast among the three plastid. Leucoplast is the only plastid that is colorless. Leucoplast is a colorless plastid. Leucoplast is colorless. It is colorless. Leucoplast is what? Colorless. The main function of what? Leucoplast is what? Storage. The main function of what? Leucoplast is what? Storage. Storage of food. Storage. Starch. Storage. Are you with me? Leucoplast is colorless. Its main function is what? For storage. Don't forget, I'm going to give you a comprehensive diagram between the plant, animal, and fungi cell. Yes, some biology teachers or some biology textbook may skip that of fungi, but I will not skip it, because when we get to taxonomy, that is classification of living things, you are going to need it. So I'm going to give you guys a diagram, comprehensive diagram. All right, are you with me? Good. So, any question? Any question? Should we can I continue? Can I continue? Does anyone have any question? Can I continue? Please ask your question. Genesis Afoke, ask your question. Ask your question. Genesis, shey you say you have question? Anybody that has a question should ask. I will answer your question now. Don't forget, there's a difference between ChatGPT and WAEC marking scheme. WAEC marking scheme is not on ChatGPT. ChatGPT may only pretend to have it, but ChatGPT does not have it. Annabelle, ask your question. Annabelle, I'm waiting for your question. For Genesis Afoke, I'm going to talk about stomata when we get to gaseous exchange in plants. I told you already. Yes, it's not our major focus on that cells. Stomata is not our major focus on that cells. Yes. For Annabelle, you are asking if leucoplast is colorless, which object contains leucoplast? What do you mean by object? What do you mean by object? What do you mean by object? I don't understand your question. Annabelle, what do you mean by object? What do you mean by object? Give me a moment. Excuse me, please. All right. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Sorry, I needed to ease myself. More cold have entered my body. So let me look at the questions. Yeah, no. Blessing. Blessing, I like your question. Blessing, I like your question. Blessing, your question is this. Do all plants have do all plants contain leucoplast and not leucoplast? And if so, can there be more than two categories of lipids in plants? I don't understand. Your question was sounding intelligent, but at the end, you don't show yourself. Two categories of lipid in plants. I don't understand. The question is not questioning. Is there two categories of lipid? No, you're not. Plastids. No, Blessing. No, please. All right, I think I know where the confusion is coming from. Let's settle the confusion here. Let's settle the confusion. Calm down. We have talked about plastids already. We say that plastids are colored pigments in plants, right? And we have three types of plastids. We have your chloroplast, we have your chromoplast, and we have what? Your leucoplast, right? We have seen chloroplast, which is the green color. We have seen chromoplast, which is any other color. Don't worry, I gave assignment last time, nobody did it. I'm going to give again today. If you don't do it, if you are in my class, I'm going to remove you. I'm going to remove you from the online class if you don't do my assignment. You're asking this, so there are some of these questions now. I know the type of assignment I'm going to give you guys. Some of the questions they are asking is showing that as you are following me, you're opening your textbook. Instead of you to pay attention, you're opening textbook. Something I've addressed already, you're still asking me the same question, but no problem. I will answer you. We have three types of plastids already. Blessing. We have three types of plastids, which I've mentioned. Chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. We are in leucoplast now. For leucoplast, it is colorless and it's mainly for what? Storage purposes. Are you with me? You find this leucoplast in any part of the plant that is not photosynthetic. We find this leucoplast in any part of the plant that is not photosynthetic, like what? Your seeds. Listen. Have you heard about seed oil before? Seed oil. If you have heard about seed oil, then it will make the explanation of leucoplast very easy. Seed oil. Now, for those of you that eat groundnut, shey you know about groundnut oil ba? Yes. Groundnut oil from groundnut, right? Groundnut is a seed and you get what? Oil from that groundnut. Can you see? It is the leucoplast that is storing the oil in the groundnut. Are you with me? That oil that comes from groundnut, that you call groundnut oil, that oil is stored in the leucoplast that is present in that groundnut seed. Are you with me? So The leucoplast is responsible for what? Storing food. Is responsible for storage in plants. Okay, leucoplast stores food like what? Protein, carbohydrate, and what? Oil, lipids. Are you with me? Any part of the plant that is not photosynthetic, you find what? This leucoplast there. Can you name a part of a plant that is not photosynthetic? Listen, all part of the plant that is in the ground is not photosynthetic. The root part of the plant is not what? Photosynthetic. Plants have two parts. We have the part that is above the ground, and we have the part that is what? Under the ground. The part of the plant that is under the ground is called the root. The part of the plant that is what? Outside the ground is called what? The shoot. Are you with me? The shoot. I'm making sense. So the part of the plant that is under the ground is not photosynthetic. Palm oil, thank you. Hugo Watts, you are making my night. Hugo Watts, well done. Hugo Watts, you are correct. Hugo Watts, you are correct. Like palm oil, yes. The palm oil gotten from the palm kernel is stored in the leucoplast. Are you with me? Yes. Yes. Okay, good. So the leucoplast is meant for storing, for storage. So any plant that produces oil, sunflower oil, palm oil, groundnut oil, olive oil, that oil is stored in the leucoplast. Are you with me? Is that making sense? Rubik's, am I making sense? I'm waiting for you guys. Okay, good. So the chloroplast is responsible for photosynthesis because of it contains what? Chlorophyll. The chromoplast is responsible for the other bright colors of the plant, like your flowers and your fruits. Are you with me? While your leucoplast is responsible for what? Storage. Your leucoplast is responsible for what? Storage. So you find your leucoplast in part of the plants like what? Your roots, your seeds, yes, and your underground stem. Please, you can find leucoplast in what? Your roots, your seeds, and your underground stem. Please, I want you to note underground stem. What an underground stem is, please. Underground stem, underground stem. Are you with me? Please note underground stem. Underground stem. Can we continue? Can we continue? Now, listen, for your exams, for WAEC, WAEC will not bother you with chromoplast. WAEC will not bother you with chloroplast. But you see chloroplast, you see chloroplast, one that contains chlorophyll. It must come out in your exam, whether I like it or not. Chloroplast must come out in your exam, whether I like it or not. Then leucoplast may or may not come out. Leucoplast may or may not come out. Chromoplast will not come out under cells. You may not see chromoplast under cells, but you may see it somewhere else, maybe under algae. When you get to algae, you may see it. But under cells, chromoplast will not come out. But you see chloroplast. Chloroplast must come out. Are you with me? All right. So when we get to supporting tissues in plants, we are going to see that in details. Any question? Any question? Any question? All right. Now, Blessing, I think I know the question you want. Blessing. Let me remove you from confusion. Blessing, you didn't ask the question very well. Blessing, your question, you wanted to ask how many types of leucoplast we have. That's what you wanted to ask, right? How many types of leucoplast we have? That is the question you wanted to ask. You understand? We have 3 types. For this answer is for Blessing. This answer is for Blessing only. Blessing, we have 3 types of what? Leucoplast. Blessing, we have 3 types of leucoplast. We have the leucoplast that stores oil. We have the leucoplast that stores protein. And we have the leucoplast that stores what? Carbohydrate. Is that making sense? For Blessing alone. Can we proceed? Can we proceed? Can we proceed? Yes. We have 10 minutes to go. We have 10 minutes to go. I'm going to release you guys by 9:20. We have 10 minutes to go. Yes. All right. Blessing, have I answered your question? Okay, good. All right. Is there any organelle that I'm missing? Is there any organelle that I've not talked about basically? Okay, good. Next is what? Food vacuole. Food vacuoles. Are you there? Next organelle is what? Food vacuoles. Yes. Food vacuoles are temporary storage structures present in animal cells. Food vacuoles are temporary storage structures present in animal cells. Food vacuoles are temporary food storage structures. Temporary, they are not permanent. They are temporary. All right. So quickly, let's end the class in 10 minutes Right, subtopic, cell and its environment. Cell and its environment. Cell and its environment. Subtopic, so that I will just introduce it, then we'll go to bed, then you get your assignment. I know the assignment to give you guys. Don't be smart. Don't think you're smart by not doing my assignment. All right. Cell and its environment. Already? Yes. All of you following online. All of you. Now, please, for those people that are clocking me, some of you came late and you are still clocking. Now, if you want to sleep, if it's past your bedtime, you can go and sleep. But if the class is important, then giving me 10 minutes should not be a big deal. Okay? If it's TikTok you are doing now, If it's TikTok you are doing, you will not clock me. Okay, so this is our TikTok. Let's tick and talk. All right. Cell and its environment. I'll quickly introduce the topic. Then by next week, we are going to see the topic in details. Okay. All right. Everybody here following the online class. Everybody here. Let me ask a question. If you are not from Jos, if you are not from Plateau State, let me see your hands up. If you know you are not from Plateau State, can you indicate? If you are not from Plateau State, can you indicate? So everybody here is from Plateau State, right? Okay. Okay, Genesis, you are not from Plateau State. What state are you from? Genesis, what state are you from? Yes, Stanley. Yes, tell me what state you are from. There's a reason why I'm asking this question. I am introducing cell and its environment. So I want to Army. Okay, Army. Is it the Army that I know that is from Onitsha? Delta. Okay, good. This Delta boy. Now, let me use Brian, Edo State. Brian and Genesis. I'm going to use you people. Stanley also is from Delta State, no problem. Brian, can you stay in Medugri? If I carry you now go Borno State, Brian, can you stay in Borno State right now with the present situation? Can you stay in Borno State, Brian? I'm talking to Brian. Okay, you said no, but the person from Imo State, if I take you to Sokoto, the person from Imo State, if I take you to Sokoto, can you survive in Sokoto? Can you stay there in Sokoto? The person from Imo State, Enyoma. If I take you to Sokoto, inside one village in Sokoto, I take you there, and you are going to stay there for 1 year. Can you survive? You cannot survive. Okay, hold on. If I take you to Antarctica, if I take all of you here now, if I say make all of us now, let us go to Antarctica. Can we survive? Can we survive Antarctica? We cannot survive Antarctica. Even some of you that is from Delta State, you cannot even survive Jos. Why can't you survive Jos? Why can't you survive Sokoto? Hell no, ba. Why can't you survive Sokoto? Why can't you survive Antarctica? The reason is this: because your body is not used to that environment. Once your body changes environment, something will happen. Your body is not used to that environment. That is why you cannot stay. Some of you that have not stayed in the north cannot stay in the north because of what? You are not used to the sound of gun. Right? Once you stay in the, you'll be hearing sound, pop, you start running away. You become scared. You see? For those people that will go to Antarctica, you will freeze to death. You will die. You will die. You will just die. Are you with me? You will freeze. It's not, the environment is not meant for you. So, for cell and its environment, there are certain environments that the cell will thrive in, and there are certain environments that the cell will not thrive in. Are you with me? So when we come next week, we are going to look at those environments in which the cell can survive, and those environments in which the cell will not survive, and what happens to the cell when it's put in some certain environment, and what happens to the cell when it is taken away out of some environments like that. Is that making sense? Like for me, if you take me to Lagos, I will not survive in Lagos because of what? The environment is not good for my health. The environment is not good for my health, so I cannot survive in Lagos. I've tried it. You see, meaning that I cannot have a family in Lagos.
Okay, but I like Jos. Jos is cold. I like Jos weather. It's very cold for me. I can survive in Jos, meaning that I'm going to have my family in Jos. Can you see? For cells, for cells to multiply, for a cell to multiply or divide, it is dependent on the environment the cell is in. For a cell to survive, the environment matters. If the environment is not conducive for the cell to survive, the cell will not survive. So, cell in its environment, the topic shows us how the cell behaves when it is put in different environments. And in this case, we are going to look at what? Three environments. We are going to look at what? Hypertonic environment. We are going to look at what? The hypertonic environment. We are going to look at what? Hypotonic environment. And then we are going to look at what? The isotonic environment. Isotonic environment. So we're going to look at the isotonic environment. Okay. So these are the three environments we are going to consider next week. What happens to a plant and animal cell when it's put in various environments? Okay. I cannot survive in Lagos. Don't worry. I can't survive in Lagos. The weather is too humid for asthmatic patients. Asthmatic patients don't stay in humid environment. Okay. When asthmatic patients stay in humid environment, they will start struggling to breathe. And if care is not taken, they will die. Are you with me? So also, the cell, when you put the cell in certain environment, the cell will not survive because of what? It's not conducive. It will die. So by next week, we are going to see cell and its environment in details. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yes, I know some of you want to start pressing your phone, TikTok. No problem. So I'll leave you guys tonight. Sorry once again for the unforeseen circumstances that made us start the class late. Sometimes the rain in Jos. For those people that have not been in Jos before, the rain in Jos is not normal rain. The rain in Jos comes with breeze. If you're not careful, you are going to lose your shop. You are going to lose the roof of your house. The rain in Jos is different from the rain in Delta. The rain in Jos comes like a lion looking for who to devour. I'm waiting. Angel, ask your question. Angel, ask your question. Angel, you're the one I'm waiting for now before I end the class. Angel, Darasimi. Yes, I'm asthmatic. Yes. So if you're not asking your question, can we end the class now? And I'll send the assignment to you people. Angel, I'm waiting. Ask your question. Oh, Darasimi, you're living in Lagos. Darasimi, you're living in Lagos. No. Yeah. For those people that are already staying in Lagos, your body has been conditioned to that environment. Those people that are staying in Lagos, your body has already been conditioned to that environment. Are you with me? For me now, I am done staying in Lagos. So I was born in Jos, so my body has been conditioned to Jos. So if I change environment, there's going to be a reaction. Some of you get sick when you travel. That's the same thing we're talking about. So we're going to see cell and its environment. Yes. Mm. Angel is not asking any question. So for the person that is asking for my number, why do you get my number from the coordinator? So this is 920. Yeah. You can get. I cannot type my number on live chat. I cannot type my number on live chat. Okay, because of privacy. So what you are going to do is to ask the coordinator. Then the coordinator will give you my number. The coordinator will give you my number. Then you can chat me privately and tell me that you are from Life Changer. Okay. So guys, thank you for participating. Thank you for participating. I'll see you guys next week. But you get my assignment as soon as possible. All right. Good night. How do I end this?
Thank you, Mr. Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Okay, so good night, everyone. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah, bye.